install, it's a great question. It's been raining for weeks here, so it's super wet outside, so I can't hit. One thing I did, or one thing everyone should do, let's just say when you're hitting great, you're hitting every shot you want, whether it be a half shot, court, whatever. Whenever you can think of a golf shot and you hit it in an area, I'll just say this, I started out with 3-foot area circles. All right, that was easy. I got to where I could put them in a shot in a circle this big. It actually was discoloration of grass. I'd see it and I'd decide how I'm gonna get there. Anyway, well, when you're doing this, shot after shot after shot after shot, no matter what the shot, whether it's a long one, short one, it didn't matter. Whether I took a 6-iron from 100 or a sand wedge, it didn't matter. Had it, anyway. I videoed, I wasn't looking to, I was looking to see what's making it successful. First off, there's a couple things. The most important thing to make it look effortless is, from this view, it's hard to see, but if I take it back, from this view is take it back in this way. So let's just say you had 2 arcs. One inside the golf ball, one going through the back of the golf ball. I actually started where, if this white thing was the golf ball, the club here, I actually play a lot of golf like that. A lot of times when you see me on the golf course, the golf ball will be here, from the toe to this far out, and I don't even know I'm doing it. Here's what this isn't. This isn't over the top. What this is when I pivot, turn, when things go this way, no matter, even if it's steep, all right, it's still got to come back that way. It's how somebody with 33 vertebrae goes this way, undoes it, and goes that way. If I were to go this way, and then that way, or let's say this way, and then drop, I'm like everybody else on the planet, I lock up. Or I would have to create a lot of effort to get it through. Second thing, we have arm lines. We have a deep set of arm lines and an outer set of arm line muscles. Outer set of your pecs, over your scapulas, your upper arms, down your, anyway. Your upper arms just keep moving. So this pattern you see is upper arm driven. When it's upper arm driven, people say it's over the top. Well, if I go this way and that way, my right shoulder is this deep, how in the teetotal F is that over the top? Your arm lines are going to drive, most people's are locked up because you're like, club here, club there, club here, club there, club there. That's why the TGM guys are they used to call them out. You're wrong. You're absolutely, stupidly wrong. It already, how do I say this? I know it makes sense. What makes sense about a book that gives you a position, and there's 24 variations of it. All right. The structure operates off the tissue. The tissue simply has, like the other day, I put up the video on this, and then somebody puts out a video that says it's a hinge. It's not. It's your upper arms. All right? It's your upper arms. If if I were to pretend this white thing's a golf ball, they're gonna go that way, that way. It's a complete motion, but everybody else wants to break it down into where did I stop here, where am I there? These things, my upper arms rotate. All right. All these apply English on a golf ball. Golf is about no different than pool. It's applying English to a golf ball to achieve a golf shot. But if you're setting up to a line on a torso that pivots, trying to hit it down the line, you got no chance. Your axial spine, how do I say this? Your arms are not structurally connected to your axial spine. They're connected here, but it's not structural. There's a lot of slide and glide in the bone in the back, and a lot of slide and glide around the sides. So once you understand that, once you understand the reason your arm lines would take over is the muscles you've got layers of muscles, and they do this over each other. So you're never gonna be connected. People do this, try to get connected. It's not gonna happen. The minute you do this, you can't use any of this. I know people think this is using it, but it's not. Using it is simply what my upper arm's doing. So when people see this, and they used to be amazed how this golf club looked like it was on this thing, it's because I'm using my upper arms to do it. My upper arms are going to put themselves back very, very close to where they look like at the start. But the most important thing is, what are they doing? Where are they finishing? I don't care about, people used to go, man, you're always on. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about this. All I care about is how I go through. What are these things doing going through? And where am I going to finish? Where I finish, left, up, at whatever, was different English for a golf ball. So how I make it look effortless, if you just today, if everybody today just went, try any grip you want. I don't care if it's this grip, that grip. This is hitting golf shots. That grip, that grip, that grip, that grip, this grip, this grip, even this grip. Because my upper arms are doing it. When your upper arms do it, you're gonna feel boom, 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 what people call weight shifts. It's not. When your upper arms do it, you're gonna feel your knees trigger. That's your function lines. Your arm lines control the body movement. Your body movement does not control the arm lines because you have an axial spine that likes to stay as centered as possible. Let's leave it at that. I've been preaching this for 15 years now. Anatomy trainings, and it's like it goes in people's this ear, grown men, and out the other. And it really gets tiring because grown adults don't take the time to go understand when I discovered anatomy trainings, there was nobody in the planet, nobody in the world I could go ask. Thank God. It forced me for the first time in my grown adult life to go research and understand something. Well, how do I understand something? Well, I based it on successful golf shots and flight of the golf ball. Never once. This thing's simple. It puts English on a golf ball. I wouldn't sit there and do a lot of research on what's the mechanics of a pull shot. Same thing with this. People are wasting their life. What's the first move? Where am I here? How do I look there? And all this. And I've told thousands of people, irrelevant. It's fucking irrelevant. Pardon my French. It's what are these? If you don't believe me, just go today, or whenever you next time you play golf, do your upper arms any way you want them. I don't care. All right. How do you think Jamie Sladowski at Impact is like this, hitting it 400 yards? Because these things are moving. They're not quitting. They're not stalling. They're not letting anything. They're not letting impact get in the way. They're not letting a swing arc get in their way. They're not letting a swing path get in their way. It was the most, oh my God, this is it. When I first felt it, it felt like I was hitting a golf ball with my biceps. Because I never in my life just paid attention, just said, okay, Manuel de la Torre and people like about the only ones that came close. But I used to tell people, if you want to, and I was to a large degree guessing, but it was like, if I worked out anything, it'd be my biceps and my triceps, my upper arms, just because they get G-force abused when traveling at the speeds that they travel to play a game of golf. Now, your upper arms can be as gentle as I used to tell people, I want to make this golf ball go 1 inch. That would be it. Now, when I started using my upper arms, I started feeling pinkies and fingers because these things would clasp. I'm gonna give everybody a free gift today, secret. Whenever you're out of sorts, we all have a middle finger and we have middle toes. So when you're out of your discombobulated, because you're gonna get discombobulated, the shot that you make, things are gonna get kind of out of whack. That's why you see people twitching shoulders in golf. Just swing, squeezing all of your middle fingers. All right. And you're gonna feel your foot flip around your middle toe. Just like all hand gyrations have to do with the middle finger, because that would be a center point of a 5-point beam. Center point of a 5-point beam. All right, it's actually the axis. Let's just say this. I'm gonna get this out today. The axis of your golf swing is technically your axis bone and your neck. It's not this. It's not this axial spine. It's not the spine. It's technically that bone. But neither here nor there. So when you regather yourself by doing just the middle finger, just squeeze the dog shit out of them is the best way for you to feel them, and things will go back in sorts. Don't play golf doing it. It's a great way to conjoin your central nervous system with your structure, with your tissue, with blah, blah, blah. But the reason I make it look so effortless, I can push, pull, swing, hit, guide, punch, lever. I tell you what these aren't, centrifugal force generators. They're angular momentum badasses. They're a lot of things, but get circles out of your life, because these don't need, these to be effective and great don't need circles. They can do everything else but circles. You see it in baseball all the time. You see Hank Aaron go. You don't feel your upper arms doing this. You may. I don't anymore. I realize where it's coming from. I don't spend any brain power trying to feel where something comes from. I got the arm lines. They're independent. That's how we can play sports and tennis. That's how we're not locked. That's the great thing about arm lines. You're not locked down to these lines that people try to put out there, the positions. But they give you everything, because I need people to go a little wide. This ain't a little wide. All right, this ain't a big wide. This ain't a flaw. That ain't a flaw. Hitting a golf ball like that's not. If you do this, I used to tell people to do this. But while you're doing this, make sure your upper arms are hauling ass by you. The cool thing about your upper arms is they go. They just. And people would get there and they go, do that. Upper arms kept going. This thing went 9 miles. They went, oh, but that's flipping, but that's scooping. But they tell you I know what they tell you on Golf Channel. But anatomy trainers wouldn't found this stuff ain't even taught in golf. I'm the only cat out there teaching it or preaching it. The anchor point the connection to all 8 of them is your upper arms and arm lines. They connect to your functional lines. They connect to your lateral lines. Well, when I say connect, they teamwork, or your spiral lines, your deep front, your deep back, you name them. These have to learn how to play with them. Everything else has to learn how to react to them. I don't have to warm up. People go, I don't have to practice. I don't have to. I mean, pushing was simply this one upper arm going, whew. That's it. Just not, everybody's so worried about this arc, this line, and in my square. And all I said was, if I just use it, I could visually see it. However you picture your deal, it would do it. It would put that golf ball in that deal. Those imaginary holes, all right? Okay, one thing I can still do to this day, there's trees out in my yard. I can hit a golf ball, hit a tree, bounce it off. There's 4 trees over here. I can bounce it off all 4, 2, and bounce it off that one to this one. All our hand-eye, talent, everything, timing, tempo, whatever, up here. Golf is played out front of you. It doesn't have to be like this. It's not stuck behind you, because these things now trying to go help you go somewhere. Mo Norman had no chance of screwing up. His arm lines, all right, his whole life he was this guy. Forearms, this guy, and his big toe, and thumbs. Miserable way to be. I know. His big toes pressed down, his thumbs went, and he hit it with his thumbs. Manuel Del Toro chose him his upper arms, and all of a sudden he's like, 2002, whatever it was, white shirt video clip. I found the secret. Man, I was wrong. People were like, how's this dude wrong? He was wrong. He found freedom in that Manuel Del Toro didn't even know arm lines existed. Functional lines existed, spiral lines existed, deep back, deep fascia, none of that, he had no clue. It does. Why? To move in any dimension path, to move on one plane or path, these things can move on 7 to 12 planes at one time and look like one plane. They are just everything. They are just the freedom to go play a game. And they're the reason you never see me put lines on a screen. There's people trying to teach off of degrees of spine angles. It's not gonna ever work. You have 4 layers of tissue in your upper girdle alone that move in different directions at one time. You may have some going this way, while some are going that way, while some are going that way, in a golf swing, in one golf swing. And this trying to map out structural angles, the more you try to put, the more you don't get the freedom of upper arms. As simple as this gig is. What makes these even better is what Tiger does. So I'm here. I'm doing it from this perspective. So as my spine stands up, it causes a whip of my upper arms. That's why Tiger, at 43 years old this weekend, was only 8 to 10 yards, well, hold on, how do I say this? He was effortlessly hitting drivers down there while he played, who did he play with? The guy hits a big cut. Hits at 9 miles, I think he played with him Saturday. Anyway, long ball hitter. Was only 10 yards in front. Tiger's just placing golf shots down there. Now, Tiger, because you gotta understand this, because if your spine's fused, you better understand this. He could just hit the gas. With these, an extra 30. But the more you hit the gas and the more you hit it far, and the more you get your body and central nervous system out of sorts, the more you lose your awareness and perception of your game. The more you do that, the harder it becomes. These don't need a lot. I can hit this pitch wedge probably 150 to 160, barely swinging these, barely using these. That was the part I didn't count on. We've all hit those shots. Well, I barely swung it, hit it too far. These things get jacked up with adrenaline and thyroids and all kind of stuff. You gotta learn how to control them. You gotta be very aware of your controlling the speeds of them all day. And what happens from start to impact is irrelevant. It's what happens from start to where they finish. Because when you're playing great, all you know is you go and you finish them somewhere. Or somewhere, or somewhere. Every shot has a different finish location. And the reason people can keep spine angles and things that they talk is because of these. If you don't think it's these, tell me how Rory finishes with his pointing. If he's going that way, they'll finish that way because his upper arm finish over there. Nothing else gets him there. Now his torso turn, what you find is my upper arms go there. All this has to go to wherever it's got to go to, period. So why make it look effortlessly is through knowledge. I sat down if a guy like Lee Comeux came out today and said, anatomy trains, fascia, first thing I'd be is, okay, I get it. Now, how do I figure out how to use them? You set a standard of, all right, until I hit 100 golf shots just like I want, and I gotta be able to think of a golf shot and hit it. How I did it was, I'd find a spot on the ground, a lump of grass, dirt, something, discolor, it didn't make a shit. Figure out, without using rangefinders, I go, what club do I need? I think it's this, and hit it. And what I found was this doesn't require a big old golf swing. I don't care how far it was, I'd look way off, it didn't matter. And all of a sudden I'm putting it around them right off the bat, and it got to where I'd probably 3 out of 10 it'd be right up against the object. Better than I ever dreamed. And this went on for thousands of balls, not hundreds, thousands. And that's when I videoed. What is it? What's a certain pattern that you're not gonna go this way and drop them, because this never the minute you do this, these things that you need for chipping and putting, let's say you'll find out the upper arm, where these go, the ball goes, and all of a sudden, if you try to loop chipping, you never get there. Loop putting, you never get there. You can't, you run into yourself. Loop the other way. You can always get there. So, will always get through you and to the target. It will always accomplish the task, the shot. So it's not over the top. It's low plane to high plane. Think of it that way. It didn't even, it's just how this spine, thorax, all this, pelvis, hips, is going to pivot and allow you to finish that way. Anybody that goes, that's why Tiger's going this way now in his practice swings. Why? Because your spine loves it. You listen to what I'm fixing to tell you. You go that way, you 1,000,000% will never hurt your back or spine. Can't do it. I don't give a fuck how hard you swing at it, and I don't give a shit how hard you go at it. You can't do it because you're not leveraging, you're not forcing inertia, force, all the shear force, all the stuff that tears up your spine. You're not forcing it into the spinal. The axial spine is playing golf now. It's not. We're not letting the wrist play golf. We're not letting some guy's book play golf. We're not letting shaft planes play golf. We're letting the spine play golf. Number one, we're letting the upper arms, which hang. All right, you know where the outside edge of your spine is? Your rib cage, because it's stuck. So we're letting the outside edges of your spinal column hit a golf ball. That we take these things and put them in front of. This is in front of the spine. This is, but everybody else wants to do this. Nope, don't do that. These things are badasses. Let them play golf. Let nothing impede them other than a golf shot and a golf score. The more you bind them up to shit, and try this. Don't bind them to shit on your body. See how achieving a golf shot you see in your mind works. Drop one on the golf course, anywhere on the golf course, in any situation. These will hit the shot. Drop them anywhere on the golf course and try to bind these things up and see if you even get to the golf ball. You won't. The answer is you won't. You'll never train yourself to do it. It's never gonna work. So why are you wasting your time? Because you put these and all this in a bind. And just letting the spine go, here's lock up. Lock up. Yet people will try. People will go out on the range, put on these jackets, and go, man, I'm improving. Well, you're a fucking idiot. What you are. You're not improving. You think going backwards equals going forwards when it equals going backwards. It never equals going forwards. The human spine, brain, motor cortex, and functional anatomy trains don't know how to fail. They don't know how, they would never put themselves in the way of themselves. That's what you learn. That's the aha moment I had was, this for Mo, you see somebody whose upper arms are off their body, you better watch out because you're fixing to get your ass handed to you. Because this guy's, even Tiger on the days he plays better, his upper arms are more off. And guys who you see upper arms down, these arms forward, you see an angle of forward, you're really in trouble. Like, really in trouble. Because all they got, let's just do this. All they got to do when they take it back is let these, they don't even need to let them fold. What happens is everybody else is with this guy. They're trying to go that way. They're trying to do a straight arm. So when they get here, this arm kind of does something, but that's why baseball players are like this. It allows you to swing around